Ask me what's the most popular mandolin tune.
What's the most popular mandolin tune, Avi?
The most popular. It's the alarm clock from iPhone. You have to stop it. You have to get up, man. Hello. Hi, my name is Avi Avital. I'm a mandolin player and I play
Mandolin?
and I play the mandolin. Welcome to David Bruce's Composer. David Bruce Composer's YouTube channel. I'm a big fan. I'm a really big fan. I watched all the episodes till now and I love it. And I love you, David. Yes. I am a perfectionist, which I like it. I mean, I don't want to. This is not something I want to change, but yeah, sometimes I realize it could be difficult. Playing the drums, I'm a really, really good drummer. I think. I mean, I suck, but I think if I practiced, I would be really good. Playing
The drums.
the drum. You know, there is a thing about musicians that they usually, like everyone, there are foodies. Musicians are foodies.
Yeah.
And everyone is bragging with her, like, oh, I can cook that, I can
Yes,
cook that.
I did a Malaysian curry last night, did I tell you?
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm a bad cook.
No.
No,
You
I
made
say,
those meatballs, I remember, in
That's
Berlin.
true. I can.
That's your
I
one
can
recipe.
do two things. I know how to do two things, and pasta I'm really good. But yeah, I have a dream of like 1 month a year to have a different job, to be a bartender. Yeah, I'd love that. I'd like to be a waiter for like a week or something like that. Something else, something is different that works on the different parts of the brain than what I do. First of all, on Wikipedia, let's open this because I never talked about it. It says Avi Avital, mandolin player and a composer.
Ah.
And you know, it's like I tried to change it, but you have to be a part of the. It was actually more simple to start writing music than to change it. Horse.
Why?
I like them. I think they have an inner world. They have an inner world. This is what
You'd like to have that.
This is what I feel. I feel like I feel like I echo with this. They're so elegant and so dignified and they're so ancient also in my you know. Sting. Oh yeah.
The one in Madame Tussauds?
No, we were rehearsing at the Lincoln Center in New York, and it was a dress rehearsal for a concert, and I play my. It was a Scarlatti sonata. I even remember that. And then I see someone sitting on like the first rows, and it's Sting. And so I'm playing like one channel of my head is still playing the Scarlatti, but the other channel goes like ah, and you know he lives across the street from Lincoln Center, and he comes to a lot of dress rehearsals because he you know if he goes to concerts he takes too much attention. I don't know this thing. So, but nevertheless, I really appreciated that he comes to listen to classical music and to concerts, and you know he came to shook hands, and I was completely starstruck.
So we should expect you on the next Sting album.
Oh, please. I've learned that I'm very determined. I think this is something that it's kind of my career was always operating on a survival mechanism. If I wasn't proactive about it, I wouldn't have nothing. I wouldn't have a job, and so it kind of forced me to step up my game again and again, and to find resources that I didn't know are there. And I think determination is is the one thing I can. I think lately I'm really interested in the brain, in how that functions, And I just recently literally changed the whole way I learn music or practice or study a new piece, really working much less with the muscles and with repetition, but much more with the brain. And that fascinates me. I realize that I can...
What you're thinking while you're...
Yeah, exactly. So how do I train my brain? And I realized also that for like moods and I just understanding how the brain works has is really fascinating for me in this phase of life, in this period. At the end of every day, think what you've learned. Did you learn a new thing today? If yes, it was a day worth living. This is a good advice. Well, I got some in the beginning of the career. I got a lot of you should, maybe you should do something else.
Don't use the mandolin now.
If I had a penny for every time
Yeah.
I heard that. But that was great because these bad advices, which I didn't take obviously, were the fuel. This is what gave me the whole drive. Speaking all the languages in the world. Yeah.
Which you almost do anyway. So you're halfway there.
Right. So I think it's not events like there are events in the real world. Let's say outside of the classical world that really influenced my
Yeah.
playing. Michael Jackson's is one of them. It really influenced my. When I play Vivaldi, I realized, you look at Billie Jean, if you hear carefully, drum machines that goes really square on a grid, on a click track, and you have this bass that goes on 8 notes. 8 notes, on a pentatonic. It's so square, how does it groove? But if you listen carefully, kind of, I guess in the post-production or something like that, each note, each step on this pentatonic scale has a different volume, has a different velocity on it. So it's not this would be the plain. But if you give each step, each note a different color,
It's always moving.
and this really influenced me a lot because when I play a chromatic scale, I don't know, or in Vivaldi, so I choose to each step in the chromatic scale to have a different color. Now I don't define this is mezzo forte, this piano, just a little different angle on the peak. We used it a lot on your piece, by the way, on cymballine, because there's a lot of pentatonic work and when you have a scale, you build it perfectly and you give each note its own color. Then you have a whole new dimension to the music.
We had one question from Twitter.
Oh yeah.
From Daniel Sarid, who says,
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I know him.
Who says, what's special about the specific mandolin model you use?
Oh right. Yeah, you see, so the mandolin is one of the only instruments I know in the world that doesn't come in any form of a standard. Like everywhere you go in the world, the flute is a flute. You go to Japan, you go to America, the flute looks the same more or less, right? Or the cello or the piano. The mandolin, if you go to America, they like for bluegrass this F style, flat back Gibson. If you go to Italy, they like the round back, kind of more bright sound. Different picks, different strings, different shapes, and different sound aesthetics. That set the mandolin maker who made this mandolin, Ari Kerman, set him free from all kind of a conditioned situation where you had to follow a tradition. And luckily, I'm saying, because he was free to reinvent an instrument according to the necessities of the repertoire or of the players who commissioned instruments from him, me included. So I wanted an instrument that could play on a big hall without amplification. So he went and he found a way to make it just a much louder instrument than many of the mandolins that I've laid my hands on. The characteristic in sound, more colors, more range of colors and of dynamics, and more kind of sustained to the note. And I don't know how, but he is an acoustic genius, managed to change some of the features in the way this mandolin is built to provide with that kind of tones, with that kind of request. So this mandolin is 20 years old, and this is what I've been playing most of my concerts with ever since. A concerto by David Bruce.
Hey.
um,
Let's stop there.
yeah.